Bro.
Hello.
Oh. What are you doing, dude?
Hey, how's it going, Anders?
Just crushing life, man.
Yeah,
Trying to make it all happen, you know?
like seriously crushing life. Like,
So, well, we got through hard part one. Now we've got hard part the rest of our lives of making sure we get into 3,000 stores and changing the world and making them less unhealthy, making them a lot healthier, and expanding this thing as big as possible and getting people in shape, dude.
yeah, like there's a Walmart across the street from my apartment.
Well, go find the. Sorry,
And
I just clipped out your podcast so hard on the
no,
volume.
it's totally fine. I was just like,
I need to know the manager.
I was like,
I will get Barbell Shrugged into that Walmart with one connection to their pharmacy manager, like instantly.
I was like, I'm gonna be able to walk across the street soon and see Anders and all their bright smiling faces on the shelf. And she's like, this is Minnesota. This is cool.
Right? It's gonna be awesome. I'm so excited.
I
It's gonna be
bet.
wild. We launch
Like
on Monday.
that's insane. Like who would have thought Walmart, like the number one like seller of whatever you could dream of in America, would sell fitness like programs
Like
in the
real
health,
ones.
like actual programs, not like, hey guys, I found a yoga ball at Walmart. I don't know what to do because there's no instructions, but it's cool.
Yeah, that's us. We're gonna change things, dude. They're taking a giant leap of faith. I actually just finished writing an article on how not only are we really like, eh, for lack of better terms, like revolutionizing the way that fitness is sold right now, because let's be honest, like the fitness industry is like as bloody as it gets. Like it's ugly right now, and trying to fight your way through social media. It's really ugly in trying to put a great product together, because everybody can put it together an ebook, which is
Mm-hmm.
basically just a PDF. Like it's a Microsoft Word document that you save as a .pdf so people can't change it. And then um, you know, most people don't want to pay for high level coaching. So your options are really expensive coaching or a race to the bottom of ebooks, which is cool. That's just the market that fitness has. When we first started podcasting, nobody had a podcast. It was easier to be great at podcasting when nobody's doing it, and you're riding this medium that's like on this insane growth rate until Zoom shows up, until like every other Google chat, whatever it is, like all of these mediums that make this conversation with you in the middle of the country and me on the right side of the country able to chat and record it and have an awesome conversation that like thousands of people can learn from is crazy.
Yeah.
But what that also did was make podcasting less special. Like we have tons of information. We've got tons of ways to get that information out. So in fighting through that, like luckily we have a pretty good audience that's built in, and they love us, and it's great. But if you're starting out a brand new podcast and trying to filter through the noise of all of the other podcasts, it's bloody, it's ugly, it's
It's
hard.
it's very bloody. Like my first podcast episode was last December, and I was like, whew, it's 2019. Like my next
Yeah.
door neighbor probably has a podcast.
Yeah, and I think that if we were starting out at ground zero right now, I wouldn't even be interested in other people listening to the podcast. I would just be trying to get people on that I wanted to have coffee with, to learn from, which is kind of what I do anyways, but it would be much more of a personal thing than build an audience and just be like, how do I learn from these people? Oh, I'll start a podcast, and they will record it, and it'll seem like a bigger deal. Um, but yeah, you take that, you take like the fact that you can buy an online training program for through an ebook for under $50. It's a one-time purchase for like a 6-week program. Um, some of them are selling for like $29. Some of them are selling for like $19. Most people are running sales to those programs, bringing the price point down even lower. Like you could have like a freaking gigantic library of online training programs in PDF, and it costs you like $1,000. Be crazy.
Yeah.
You're just training for the rest of your life. So that's like bloody market number two, is like getting like everybody can do it. It's so simple. And then, the third one, like everything we're doing is just based off like lead gen. Like that lead gen is like the biggest, scariest, hardest thing. It's like you have to have these audiences built into what you're doing so that they can basically your ad rev, like your lead gen costs are lower. Like you need to get your price per lead down, and then you need to get your conversion costs down and have all the emails set up, and hopefully by the end of it you've reached some like magic number of like 2, 3, 4 to 1, and you feel great about that. You're like, okay, maybe we can scale this, and hopefully it continues to grow in that manner. When you work with the largest retailer in the world, they do lead gen for you by having everything possible in the store. So all the fitness people come there to save money, and that's our lead gen costs now, and conversion costs. It's all wrapped into one, and it's lower in that store than it is on Instagram, which is crazy, assuming we sell all the programs that we think we're going to sell. And then you scale that out to multiple thousand stores, and all of a sudden you realize, oh, this is a great business model that nobody in the world is doing right now. But it wasn't like I wrote the article. I literally just finished it, so I'm real fired up about it right now.
Is it the one you just shared on
I
Facebook
literally
like
just
3
shared
minutes
it.
ago? Yeah,
I
I was.
finished it right before I got on here, so we get to talk about it in like super real time while it's super fresh in my brain.
Yeah, like the data that our phones or whatever collects from us talking must have like hurt. Like my phone is on the right. I'm on Zoom about to record this with you, and I get a notification that says Anders posted on Facebook. So I swipe over and it's like article. So I started reading it and I was like, oh, we're literally going to talk about this in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm so fired up about it. You were my time limit on the writing and editing process of getting it out, which is super cool.
Yeah.
But we had, dude, we had, one of the most important parts of the article to me is that it's not just, um, like us. It's not just Barbell Shrugged that's setting this new precedent and jumping into a new arena and really, when you think about Walmart, nobody ever thinks about them caring about the health of their customer. That's like not a thing.
No.
They only think about like chopping prices and, like that's the cheap place to shop. Well, sure, but they just recently changed over their entire like model or their slogan from rolling back prices and basically just save money no matter what to save money, live better. And that focus on live better, not that it starts with us, it starts at a much higher level in all that, but we're like a big piece of that live better. There've never no big box chain has put training programs on the shelves. You don't go into Target, you don't go into Dick's, you don't go into all those places. There's no training programs. They sell equipment, they sell bands, they sell all kinds of stuff, but nobody has a training program. Maybe they have fitness books, but how much does a fitness book cost? $25, $30? Like they're expensive for that, and nobody reads them. Nobody's reading like 300 pages to squat. They have one in the Costco that's like a $35 book that I see, and it's like 300 pages of exercise demo. I'm like, no one's reading that.
No,
No
you
one's
can
getting
just
to
go
the,
on your phone and look it up on YouTube.
yeah,
Way
that's why
cheaper.
YouTube exists. Exactly. And like that's a massive part of what they're doing that's taking a big leap outside of what conventional wisdom would have a big box retailer doing. And because of it, the margins that they're going to be making on our product are higher than the standard margins that they make on products. It really proves that they're interested in changing their culture, and the like investing in customers is a huge thing. And look, we have the ability to create digital downloads for programs purchased in store. So that cuts down on their costs. Additionally, we have like a 12-inch display that has 3 profit centers basically sitting in it. So they have 3 products where a 3-pound jug of protein that's sitting next to it is basically taking up the same amount of space, and it's only 1 profit center. So we're getting 3 to 1 on the return of sitting on their shelf. It costs them basically nothing to have 3 profit centers with a higher profit margin than they typically see. And they're proving to their customers that they want them to be healthy. They're giving them a better option. We're in the pharmacy. Like, I led a call with these pharmacists last Wednesday, and they're just like, how do we get something that's more preventative for people that have type 2 diabetes? Like, type 2 diabetes runs pharmacies in America. Who knew? I don't know anybody with diabetes, but that's what runs the pharmacy. Like, they're constantly giving away, or not giving away, but people are constantly getting prescriptions for that. And every pharmacist in the world, every doctor in the world, it starts with the doctor. And they go, well, what, you need to take this for the symptoms. And they hand them a prescription. Then they say, and we need you to exercise. And we need you to start eating better so you can lose weight. Okay. So they go to Walmart, they get their prescription, and they go, my doctor told me I need to exercise and I need to lose weight. Well, we don't have any of that. They don't have any of it.
No, there's no magic pill for that one.
Well, it's not even the magic pill. There's no option.
Yeah.
We have the magic pill. They got to go do it, but they don't even have an option right now because it just doesn't exist. And Walmart's the only people that are taking this big leap, investing in their clients, investing in their customers. They're getting more profit out of the distribution channel that we're creating. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be so incredible.
It's gonna change the world through fitness, through just simplicity at the core. You can walk into Walmart, maybe find I don't know, you can go to the workout section and be like, oh man, these dumbbells look cool, although they're not really in stock anymore at the moment. And then just be like, go over to the health food section or start getting stuff, and then be like, oh, I wonder if there's anything here that'll teach me how to use this, and then ask a staff member. They'll be like, go over there.
Exactly. And we put together a video for all. We went down to Arkansas 3.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks and a day ago. I know that because that's when I separated my shoulder falling off a mountain bike. Counting the days of this month off until I can go back to training. But yeah, that was like we put a video together for everybody in the pharmacy, all the store managers that are going to be able to go and see what the program's about, who's actually involved in it. I mean, the person that we're doing it is in that we are working within this. He'll be on the podcast next week, so there's no reason I can't say his name, but Matt Musgrave is in charge of all of the performance, nutrition, and fat loss products and supplements in the pharmacy. He's like the most powerful person in supplements. That's crazy.
That's
he just
insane.
Happens to love Barbell Shrugged and loves doing our programs, and I like snatching with him. And that's pretty much how life should be. People you like working out with should also be really good at what they do and enjoy changing the world. And we're going to go do it. I'm excited.
That's awesome.
If you can't tell.
No, not at all. No hints.
Yeah. It's going to be crazy though. I mean, it just doesn't come that often where you see your industry. It's not even like a negative thing. It's how every industry goes, right? It's like podcasting. If you're Joe Rogan and you were the very first one and you continue to be the best, it pays to be the first.
Mm-hmm.
But you were able to build an audience for like 5 years before all of this other stuff happened. And you were the only one. Yes, he's the best, but also it's like he got so many more reps in
Yeah.
for so long before he had to um, deal with if Joe Rogan starts today, does he have that many millions of downloads and all that? No,
No.
because he had no competition at the beginning. So I've been really on like a business level searching for that thing that really separates us and go where there's no competition. And what does that look like? Who are those people? What is that like? What is that? What is that medium? And it's very strange that retail is that.
Yeah. And like, I know I've said it and we've already said it before, but like they're the number one retail store anywhere. So like you guys basically just crushed all competition forever in the fitness industry now for like anyone.
Yeah,
But like in a good way. Because now people
totally.
can just be like, hey, if you want to get fit, go to Walmart.
Yeah, I mean, we're not even we're opening in 12 stores. We've got 20 slated. I mean, the biggest thing is like getting this thing, one, testing it, making sure all the messaging and marketing and all that stuff is legit, but scaling it becomes its own interesting issue. But yeah, I mean, I want to be away from everybody, dude. There's a lot about our business in the online space right now that I don't like. Not just that I don't like it because it is bad for our industry. I'm like kind of I don't even like to think about that stuff. I don't like it because I'm a freaking 37-year-old dad that doesn't need to be talking into his phone. Like I don't need to be that cool. I don't want to be that cool. I don't want to be putting on like a daily show through my Instagram stories. And part of what I really want to do is affect as many people as possible, but also like do it in a way that I feel really good about it. And how can I reach a lot of people without like, hey, this is my daily story of my life where I'm just working really hard and like nobody wants to see me sitting at my desk writing thousands and thousands of words a day about fitness. That's super boring. Um, but that's what I like to do, and that's how we connect with people. And that's our business. But how do I, how do you step into like a gigantic leadership role in the fitness industry without social media because it doesn't align with who I want to be? How do you do it without like recording every aspect of your life and then selling products to however many people follow you? There's up until like 12 years ago, 10 years ago, there was gigantic, amazing, well-run businesses and social media didn't exist. We just have to figure out how to do it in today's world so that um, the business that we're running aligns with our own personal values. We get to help a lot of people, and we get to figure out a way to do this thing that doesn't 100% need um, that like daily show and that like that speed of life of social media. And it's just it's bloody. It's if you were starting an Instagram account today, that's terrifying. How are you going to get to 100,000 people? How are you going to get to like 18,000 people when all there is just content everywhere?
Yeah.
It's
And
really, really strange.
and the algorithm behind Instagram, like not
You
posting
don't own
everybody's
it.
pictures, like not a clue what I'm doing. Like I've been on social media since I was a sophomore in high school, so like 12 years ago, like
Yeah.
right before I started working out. And I only got on Facebook to connect with friends that I didn't get to see very often.
Yeah.
And then like Instagram rolled around. I was like, oh, I haven't seen this person in forever, but this is what they look like now. And now I don't see like any of my friends posting anything. It's just all a bunch of like fitness people that post every single second of their day. They're just like
Yeah.
skip, 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 skip. Oh,
It,
someone
it,
I care about. Cool.
I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody at all that follows me on Facebook or Instagram. I It's not that it's bad. I know that they want fitness information, and I know that that's like a super cool thing. It's not like I am against it in any by any means. It's just the constant daily show does not align with who I really want to be and the way that I want to experience my own life. So it's tricky because in the current setup of fitness, that is the best way to go about doing business, is building a channel, telling people what you believe in, bringing them in, making them diehard believers in what you do, and then um, at some point we convert them into a way in which they buy programs and they want to follow the same goals that you have. And ideally you're able to carve out a niche inside that is very powerful. Part of that I just don't want to do, which is the being on my phone all the time and like clicking the algorithm so that it likes me and puts me at the top and all that stuff. It just doesn't align with me. I just have other things that I like to do. So um, if I'm aware that that does not align with who I want to be and what I want to do, how do I go about it from there? And 8 months ago, Walmart showed up. And now we've got this really cool opportunity to carve out a gigantic market for people that really, really, really need to get in shape. I mean, uh, just go to the airport. You can see how unhealthy the world is. That we don't
Yeah.
even have to have like the percentages of obesity and type 2 diabetes and all that stuff. And you don't even have to have that. You don't even have to talk about it at all. All you got to do is go to the airport. Look, so obvious.
Yeah.
Everyone's overweight. Nobody is in shape. If you're in shape, you stand out. That's weird. It shouldn't be like that. But those are the people that are often the most underserved. I shouldn't say often. They are the most underserved, and they're the most ignored. So who are we all fighting for on social media when we're marketing? Is obviously people that are already in fitness, that have disposable income. They're not very price sensitive because they go to gyms that cost between $100 and $200 a month at a CrossFit gym, or a $50, $60 a month 24-hour fitness gym, something like that. And they have a general, like a relatively good education and know where to find out information. That's not the working class, and that's not the middle class. That's a different group of, that's a different socioeconomic group that um, has access to those resources. And we get to be the resource and education platform for the other people that are ignored, underserved, really need help, and don't know where to go, don't know who to trust, and now they have an option. And it's right next to the place that they get their medicine. It's right next to the place that they talk to the pharmacist, who's like the smart person in the room that really knows how to help them, and they're the most trusted person. So that really is our focus with this, is to not be anti-medicine, but to partner with the pharmacists and partner with Walmart as much as possible, because they need to have the um, they need to have these programs to truly help the people that are buying products and keep and are the lifeblood of their business.
Yeah. That like you hit home with me on so many levels there. Like I don't want to help someone that's already fit. Like
Yeah.
they already know what they're doing. Like I might be able to like help them PR by like a pound or or whatever. But like if I see Karen over in the corner and she doesn't look super healthy and she's like, hey, like strike up a conversation or something, be like, this is what I do for a living. I make people healthier. Or
Yeah.
she's like, that's who people need to be focused on. It's not the people that are like standing out in a crowd that are like jacked and shredded and they're like, yeah, I go to the gym like 6 days a week. Like, cool, you already know what you're doing. I'm going to talk to your mom or your relative,
Yeah.
right? So
I
that's
mean,
who should be
it's,
focused on in the fitness industry.
yeah, well, and saying should as if everybody needs to do that, isn't also like the right answer. I think I shouldn't say the right answer. You're 100% correct that many people would do much better in their business by not focusing on the group of people that made them love fitness. In that you love fitness because you like getting stronger. Well, most people probably don't need to, they're going to get stronger, but if we teach them how to be healthier, that involves getting stronger.
Hmm.
If you are able to make the gym less scary, you'll allow them to get stronger. But to think that we're all out here like training NFL athletes and CrossFit Games athletes, it's like that's like 0.00 infinite 0.01% of the population. And what we should do is help people. And if you really just want to help people get 10 pounds on their deadlift, go do that. But there's a lot more people that need a lot more help, that are a lot less focus on, and you can run a much better business if you're willing to help the people that aren't currently being helped.
Yeah, like the people that get winded walking up their stairs. She's like, let's do some box step ups today, make that stuff
Mhm.
easier.
And that's real life. Like, I mean, especially in older populations, like are how many people are like the online coach for populations that are 55 and over? Do you know any?
Nope.
I don't know any. I don't know any. But I know that fall risk is one of the biggest like it's like the biggest indicator of like injury and death, and like you can't get up off the ground. Is It's been like proven. Can't remember, I'm trying to remember the doctor in Brazil that ran this test, but the ability to get off the ground is one of the most important skills as you age in life. I've actually seen my grandma, who's like 92, fall. And it's like not the way I fall. I fell more gracefully off of an 8-foot cliff riding my bike than she fell just to the ground. It was like the full, like a tree falling, because she couldn't put her hands out to catch herself. Once she got down there, lucky she didn't break a hip, like all kinds of crazy stuff. But fall risk, mainly just because people lose muscle mass, is it's just a gigantic issue. It's just a massive issue for people that, as they age, lose the ability to get up off the ground. So there's a massive opportunity for coaches to be able to go out there and help people build the strength so that they don't have this fall risk injury, or they can extend the quality of their life. But none of us talk about that. Very few of us actually look at those things. Um, we just it's too easy to focus on increasing people's deadlift by 10 pounds.
Yeah. Like I before I started trading, I was a fall risk because like I was putting braces and like no activity. It's like, okay. So like if I tried to be active and like I like tripped or whatever, it'd be like, oh no, I'm down for a week. And
Yeah.
now like 2 weeks ago I was out with my dog and he got excited and like hit my leg and I wiped out and I was like, oh, nothing happened. I'm not hurt at all. It's like
Yeah,
I know how to fall now.
totally. It's a massive skill that, for the most part, people don't even think about. Like, why would you think about it until it becomes this insane problem that you don't know how to solve, you
Yeah.
know?
Like back when I was a kid before like I got put in braces, I would fall all the time. Like I broke my forearm falling downstairs. I shattered a mirror with my head falling downstairs. Like I have scars all over my back from wiping out on a bicycle. And I was like, nowadays, like if that stuff happened, I could catch myself.
Which is massive.
Which is like, oh, I just grabbed the handrail and I didn't fall because I can hold myself up.
Right? It's so funny. But yeah, you developed that skill that you didn't have. Now you're stronger. Now you feel more confident. It's amazing.
Yeah, and being able to teach grandma and grandpa the same thing would be insane. Like,
Yeah, dude, I
have them
used to
sit to a box and stand back up. It's like, oh, now you can get off the toilet.
I think we talked about this in the last show I did with you, but I coached adaptive athletes like wheelchair basketball team
Yeah.
for 2 seasons, and it was super cool. And they were so appreciative that some like a strength coach would come out and work with them. I was like, guys, this is like cool. I've never seen this before.
Hmm.
Like, you guys are total badasses. I'm just kind of here teaching you some stuff that's really basic to me. Um, but if people really wanted to take the deep dive to learn how to work with adaptive athletes, it's a massive opportunity that just is a very underserved population right now. I think it's just really easy in today's world and in today's like it's not just Instagram. Instagram's just like this offshoot of who we are as human beings, but like this like over abbed, over glute flex, like over everything, um, just vibe that we put out where everyone's just trying to say, I'm the most shredded and you have to do this program. I'm the biggest butted, do my butt program. I'm the, whoever you are. And it works for a lot of people. That's awesome. I just think that you have to find the thing that like really aligns with you, and that may not be social media. That may not be where you want to spend your time. um, just know that like there's a lot of space still if you're willing to step out of that and go play your own game.
Yeah. And not just try to be another person that makes like, hey guys, I got shredded in like six
Yeah,
weeks. Let's hit up my ab
yeah, because we
program.
all kind of like know that. I think 6 weeks is a phenomenal amount of time to spend focused on a goal,
Yeah.
but you
But you could
shouldn't
do
realize that
other
that's the
things.
end of. You should then go to the next 6 week program, um, and not just stay thinking that that was the end.
Yeah. Cause like in 6 weeks, you could take someone that is like overweight, has type 2 diabetes, and you could help them lose a few pounds, and they may not have a six pack, but hey, they're feeling healthier in 6 weeks. And then just keep adding 6 week cycles on top of that. And
Yeah,
then eventually they'll get down to like a good, healthy weight. And you could blast that on social media if you want to. And if you don't have to, because it's not your thing. And
totally,
you still help someone get healthier even without being shredded.
totally. Um, yeah, are you coaching many like adaptive athletes right now?
Literally zero.
Oh,
Like the market here is not the greatest for coaching at the moment. So
yeah. Is that
I'm
because of COVID and everything being shut down?
COVID, everything being shut down. The gym that I was at shut down in April or at the end of April. And then like not a lot of gyms in the area started like hiring coaches yet, just because
Yeah,
they have to bring on their other coaches that they had before on, because
totally.
that wouldn't be fair to hire someone new if you are still like trying to bring your old coaches on. So I picked up some random non-fitness jobs, which is weird. But
Yeah,
there's a friend of mine owns a gym up in St. Cloud area that has adaptive athletes, and they're doing a competition in January. It's called the Big Impact Games Throwdown.
yeah,
Um, and they're doing like non-adaptive divisions, and then they're going to do an adaptive division along with it. And I was like, you got the market right there. Like, you are the adaptive market in Minnesota. Like, you're going to crush this,
yeah.
which is insane.
That is really cool, dude. I had so much fun with the adaptive athletes. It was great. I could totally do that. Just I sold that business, so we
Yeah.
didn't I didn't do much of it anymore. Um, and Barbell Shrugged's just got a bit different of an audience. I'm sure we have adaptive athletes that pay attention and listen to the show, but it's not specifically geared at them. But I had a ton of fun doing it. I think more people should be doing it. It's really, really great work.
Yeah, they're some of the coolest people I've ever met. Like I was walking around the games back in like 2017 and I was hanging out with a friend and he's like, "Hey, have you met Kevin Ogar before?" And I was like,
Ah,
"No." And he's like, "Come here." And I was like, "Oh my God." Like
that's awesome.
he's right there. And then like we talked for like 45 seconds because there's just a circle around him.
Yeah.
Like, "Hello, hi, you're super cool. Hello." And then he like I don't even remember the whole conversation. And I was like, "And you're getting swarmed by people. All right, see you later."
Yeah. I don't even know if I told you. Well, I was there. I wrote the workout the day that all that happened to him at the OC Throwdown. That's not something I'm like super excited to talk about all the time, but yeah, that was me. I wrote that workout. My partner and I wrote that whole competition. It's a crazy day. Still
Yeah,
remember much of that. Um, really scary stuff, especially when you're like programming the competition. You're like, what the hell? How you don't even actually have words. You're just like, oh,
that
wow.
just happened. Like,
Yes, insane.
maybe not program that workout again.
Right? I mean, it was just it's not like you um it's not like you like really that's not why things happen.
Yeah,
But being a part of it is very, very crazy.
yeah, and I'm a big believer in like things happen for a reason, and like when I was younger, I was like I'm the only one in my family that like has a quote unquote like severe version, and so like I was like, all my cousins are like super athletic. Like, what is this? Like, they're all like getting D1 scholarships and like playing all these sports all over the
Yeah.
place. And then I was like, and then like when I got into weightlifting and then into CrossFit, I was like, wait, I wouldn't be here. I'd be doing something probably really stupid right now if I had full like capacity to do things. And then
Yeah.
I went to found CrossFit. I went to started it and I went to like got my level 1 or level 2. And I'm just like, you know what? It's not that bad. Like
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm getting to talk to you on my computer, like 1,100 miles away from each other.
Dude, absolutely.
Like
Super cool.
it's insane.
Um
But
I it's really just like a mindset of being able to um make the best out of whatever it is and just believing in like the superhero that is your current life. Like that you're just always going to be the superhero no matter what happens. And then
mhm.
it's just everything's possible.
Yeah. Do you know Logan Farr? So he's
I don't. I thought you
also
were gonna say Logan Aldridge, and I was gonna say yes, but then you said Logan Farr, and I don't know who that is.
from Wisconsin and he's an adaptive athlete that I met back at the Granite Games a long time ago.
Yeah,
And like his story is insane, but like he is so strong and fit. And I was like, "Oh, hey. Well, that's really cool." Like we just start talking about like how like we don't have like full capabilities like someone that doesn't
yeah,
have what we have, but like we can still do anything if we want to. And then like he started doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu and it's like, "Oh, you're probably crushing that too." It's insane what people can do.
yeah. It's dude, it's crazy. I think I met a guy in Texas. I really wish I could remember his name. But he's double amputee, below. I want to say it was like right at the hip, maybe a little bit lower, but he benches like 400 something
That's
pounds,
insane.
and he does the craziest like a handstand. It's just when you're that strong and you don't have a lower half, like he does the craziest stuff, like handstand stuff, like jumping on his hands. Um, just there's like just an insane, when you just realize that you're having that you're going to make the most out of whatever happens, and you're just going to go do it and live life awesome. um, you just do it, and you do really cool stuff. It's as long as you still have that like positive mental attitude about everything that's going on.
Yeah, and I love like making light of like my situation and everything. Like if I bought a gym membership for the first time in I don't know how long, and walking around, obviously I still walk with a little bit of a limp, and like people would be like, "Hey, did you hurt yourself?" And it just be like make some story out, just like hockey. It's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha," or like some older guy was like, "Oh, rehabbing a knee."
yeah,
And it was him and his wife, and I was like, they're like an elderly couple. I was like, I
dude,
can't
you
make
should
up a
just
story.
you should just tell them like, I just squatted like 700. I'll be better tomorrow.
Yeah,
And then
and I was like,
oh my
actually
god.
muscular dystrophy, and he's like, oh, so like rehabbing everything. I was like, yep, getting it. And he's like, and his wife's just like, stop talking to
Yeah,
him.
leave him alone.
It's like he's
Well, I
having,
think most people are so scared of it, right? Like
yeah, like I don't want
most
to offend
people,
him.
yeah, they think you're going to be offended, or they're going to. But like that's one thing I learned when I was coaching the adaptive athletes. They're constantly joking on each other.
Yeah,
Like they have to make light of it so that they realize it's just life, and they're still happy and they're laughing, and that's good. Um, like it's it's almost just like locker room talk. It's like um, the whole thing is um, just keeping that positive mentality. I mean, the basketball team was literally like uh, it was more or less locker room talk the entire time. Yet when I showed up, I was like, oh no, I don't know if I should say, like, what if I get caught like staring at their wheelchair, or like just observing in like a weird way, like, how are you making a free throw right now? This seems so crazy. And then you immediately get hit by like, they're just athletes,
yeah,
and many of them were very high level athletes, in that it was a military wheelchair basketball team in San Diego through the VA. And you are um it's you're just like, but you just walk into a locker room, you walk into a regular team scenario, they're just in wheelchairs.
yeah.
And many of them not too long ago had both their legs, or had whatever it is, they didn't have whatever issue they're dealing with. They were like front lines, and an IED blew up and changed their life, yet they're still going and doing all this stuff. It's it's pretty cool.
Yeah, they so the CrossFit Games obviously happened over the weekend, right? And they had in between like the men's and women's heats, they would play like videos that they have recently shot about like non-CrossFit like games athletes.
Yeah,
And they're all of a sudden this guy comes on and like he's sitting down, so they're just showing like his upper body, and he was part of the military and just talking, and then gets into how like he lost both of his legs, and then he joined CrossFit, and now he's a police officer because
that's awesome.
he passed the physical requirements to be a cop
Yeah,
without his legs. And it's like,
that's so crazy.
what in the world?
Right?
Like
That's
he's
so
a cop,
crazy.
no legs below the knees. And it's just like, what? Like,
Yeah, how did that happen?
it's like, get off your couch and go do something, guys.
It's super inspiring, right, that these people can go out and just be as awesome as they are.
Yeah.
You think that they would feel sorry for themselves, but it couldn't be any different.
No. And like I've used the line "my eyes are up here" so many times. So it's like I'll take a couple steps or like maybe lose balance while just standing there talking to someone, and they'll like look down and it's like, no, up here, I'm fine. It's like
Yeah,
I realize it's a little odd.
totally.
But like some of the coolest people I've met like don't have all their limbs. It's like they're still themselves. Like it doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
I met Derek Wida like 4.5, almost 5 years ago, and it's like you would still think he had both legs.
Yeah, and the prosthetic stuff and like all of that, it's crazy how much people can do. Like a lot of, what was the sprinter name? Pastorius? Is that,
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
dude from
that
South
he
South
obviously had
Africa.
a lot of things going on, but to be that fast, if we're only going to speak about that part of his life,
Yeah,
um, you put those blades on that guy, he's world class.
yeah.
Like they're freak athletes. I was actually interviewing Richard Diaz last week. Do you know who he is?
It sounds familiar, but
He's
no.
like a endurance coach, mainly in the
Okay,
Spartan, but he coaches some CrossFitters.
okay.
Um,
Oh, yeah, the guy that was with Ryan Fisher on his
yeah,
big long. Yep, yep.
and they um, I talked to him last week, and anytime you have like a really high level coach come on, and I love just ask him like, who's like the freak of the freaks? Like, who did you meet and you were just like, holy shit, someone like you exists on this planet? You know, like there's only one Michael Jordan, there's only one LeBron James, there's only like the people that are like just so naturally freaky, you can't even believe that nature designed, of all of the people, like something like that popped out. And he was like, the craziest one ever was a wheelchair, the Olympian. I wish I could remember her name off the top of my head, but she's basically a wheelchair long distance runner, cycler.
Okay.
And he was like, she maintained like a 26-mile-an-hour pace for an entire marathon or something. Like I went and Googled her immediately after, and but he was just like, dude, imagine riding a bicycle at 20 miles an hour for however many miles, and then all of a sudden some like girl in a wheelchair just comes by and is just like casually beating the crap out of you because she's going 26 miles an hour. And I was just like, she's a freak. She's a total freak.
Yeah.
Um, that stuff's just so cool to me.
Yeah. It's insane what people can do when they realize like they can do it.
Yeah. So, um, yeah, I would still love to coach some of those people if I had the time, and some of those athletes if I had the time and there was like a team around here that I knew about. But um, right now, in-person coaching is just hard in general.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's really cool. It's a really cool demographic to be able to connect with and literally have your mind blown every single day.
Yeah. There's a guy up here in Minneapolis that is an adaptive strongman. Like he competes at the Arnold in adaptive strongman competitions and like
Yeah.
wins them. And I met him in December and I was like, oh, you're really strong. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And then like I saw a video and I was like, what? Like, no way. Okay, that's amazing.
All right.
Like you just
So
press this?
crazy.
Like
Yeah. So crazy.
and like I
Um,
met there's this uh, it's in New Prague, Minnesota, like tiny little town, Minnesota. There's a strongman coach that lives there and has a strongman gym in his garage. And I got to go hang out and visit it a couple times. And he's late 40s, early 50s, and he's like log pressing like 300 pounds, like lifting stones that are like 400. And he's like, yeah, like back in the day, I would like hang out with Brian Shaw and at the Arnold. I was like, what? You're in Minnesota? Why aren't you like?
totally.
And then like his friend came over and like I'm 6'2" and this dude made me feel short. And like just like warming up with like 200-300 pounds, just easy light day. And it's like, huh, you guys
Yeah,
are insane. Like, you guys are freaks.
they're super freaks. It's wild.
And like this guy's wife was like a strong woman competitor. And I was like, why don't you come out here and show us how to work out? Because like you're probably lifting 300 pounds more than me.
Totally.
Like, it's
That's 100%
insane.
true. Yeah. So, um, yeah, man, I would love to, I just, when you see that stuff, it's just so crazy to think about how freaky people are. Um, and how far people can go and how far the human body can go um, when you really put it to the test and have a good mental attitude about your current scenario and just maximize every day.
Yeah. It's like, go work out, eat, sleep, do it
Yeah,
again, just be happy.
exactly.
And that's what you guys are going to do for the nation now.
Right? We're gonna get them all. We're gonna get everybody jacked. There's gonna be freaks everywhere, even in Walmart. When I
Yeah.
did Mark Bell's show, uh, they called it um, what the jacked people of Walmart. That was
Yeah.
the
Because,
name of the um, um, that was the name of the um, podcast, the jacked people of Walmart.
yeah. Because,
Pretty
like, in the
good.
Midwest, people of Walmart is a thing. And
Yeah,
you're just like, you, you exist. It's like, not to be mean, but like, what?
yeah.
Like, in my hometown's Walmart, my hometown is 4,300 people. And like, this dude was wearing like shorts shorter than like Hunter McIntyre would wear, like jean shorts and a camo t-shirt, but it was like a fishnet camo t-shirt, just strolling through Walmart. I was like, what is going on? And now you're going to go to Walmart and see all these super freak fit people, and it's like, oh, people in
Yeah.
Walmart is different now.
Um, if we have like people with like real biceps, I don't know. That's probably a bit of a stretch on day one. But the thing that I'm most excited about really is like when you open the door and you take a step through, you kind of jump in the river that's flowing very fast, and you don't know where that thing's going, and there's going to be a whole bunch of bumps along the way, and I'm excited for that. Um, but also, like, you're going to um, you don't know where you're going, but it's definitely in a good direction. And I'm really excited that one day I'm going to meet some people that have done the programs, changed their lives, been in the Barbell Shrugged ecosystem. They listen to the show. They've learned a lot about strength training, um, and it's all like a catalyst from the fact that they, for lack of better terms, or for lack of yeah, maybe better terms, of just they took the deep dive. They jumped in and wanted to um, change their life and be a better father, be a better mother. And we were the catalyst for that. And that's going to be a really cool day.
Yeah, it's going to be insane.
So, but I appreciate you having me on, dude. This is
Yeah,
really, I
of
love coming on
course.
and hanging out with you.
It's been a blast. Like, podcast is coming back in a big way.
I love it. It's
Like,
fantastic.
I added up, like, I counted the months and stuff. Like, we haven't, like, it's been 6 months since the last time you and I did a podcast together, and I was like, they've done so much for everyone in the last 6 months, like, quietly, without really talking about it. And then
Yeah.
here we are. It's like, oh, that means that, like, they've been doing this for 8 months. That means they were like doing this last time we talked, and I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's to get the part about the entire process that's super interesting is um, a company the size of Walmart is designing their systems to do business with companies the size of Coca-Cola,
Yeah.
not Barbell Shrugged. And I had to go figure all of that out and learn with a lot of hand holding and being very friendly to people at Walmart, and being in the middle of a pandemic and reshifting our entire business plan away from what was to what is. Um, so that whole transition of everything has just been like really, really, it's challenging, but it's also fun. My wife constantly, she's like, why aren't you more stressed? I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, I have no expectations of myself. So why would I be stressed out? Like, what am I going to do? Like, freak out because I don't understand shit? I just know that I don't understand shit. So I'm meeting expectations versus like letting myself down. Like, I don't know how this thing's supposed to go. So, um, it just is what it is.
Yeah, kind of just let it flow and see what
Yeah.
happens.
And what happens is 8 months later, on Monday, we launch, which is really exciting.
It's so cool. Like one of my friends was at a FitOps like seminar and
Oh,
met,
cool.
yeah, and it was one like he got to meet John Cena, took pictures, and I was like we have the same coach, and I was like, you met John Cena, and I think this was 1 or 2 before you went and hung out with everyone, and then I saw you there, and I texted him, I was like, man, you should have waited like a month or so, could have hung out with Anders.
Yeah, it would have been really cool. I mean, I met some super cool people, and I actually end up talking to them all the time. Um, it's it's like a uh, very tight knit community. We actually went down and saw them while we were down there. Went out to dinner, did a show with them again. Um, so it was really cool. I
That's
love those
awesome.
people.
So do you have any other life goals of anything that you guys or you are working on during this pandemic now that you got the Walmart launch coming out on Monday? What's the next big thing for Anders?
Um, yeah, one of the, I guess, launching in January for the New Year's people. Um, I'm always like kind of against, I shouldn't say against, challenges just don't always like fully align with me, mainly because I've been just like doing fitness for so long that I am relatively in shape all the time. And I know that longevity is like the key to the game. Just like keep lifting weights and you'll typically just overcome all of the other obstacles. Um, like you don't have to really worry about programming that much if you are, um, you know, if you're just staying at it
Yeah.
and on it, and like all the other stuff just kind of figures itself out. Um, so the idea of like this like 30-day commitment, it's like, I'm like, come on, like, I don't know, it just isn't, you should just always live a healthy life. So one thing that has super changed in the last 2 years of my life that I think people will like benefit massively from a deep dive is how to do fitness while being a dad, which is a stage of fitness that if people go through is a gigantic shift. Um, and I didn't realize it until last year when I hit 205 pounds when my daughter was like 7 months old. Um, and that's just like really soft. It doesn't mean that I was like out of shape. It just means that I was really soft, and like too soft because I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't eating. It wasn't just like, just wasn't good. It was like you find yourself in like the peanut butter jar at 3 a.m. because you're just awake for no reason, except like a crying baby. Um, so I got down to like 191. And then over the next 6, 7 months, it took me like 3 months to cut weight, which is like what I always did for competitions and stuff like that. I got down to a relatively lean body weight. Um, and then stopped paying attention again, let the dadness kick in. And I want to say the pandemic hit. Then I was like in the house with food all day. I was training in my garage, but let's be honest, like it's just, there's just around food all the time, and you're not like, you just don't really understand what's going on. Plus business is super stressful. So I had all these things that were like kind of working against me. Shouldn't say working against me. I just wasn't prepared for dad, husband, business owner, training, all of it at once, and how it all fit together inside a pandemic. Um, and got back up to like 201. And I was just like, this is insane. So I made like a real commitment to just tracking macros, keeping things as simple as possible. And I'm like 189 right now. And on top of that, there's like a whole bunch of daily practices that I've just implemented into my own life, um, of like gratitude, just saying thank you, and that I'm like proud of our family, telling my wife how much I appreciate her, telling my daughter that I'm proud of her, that I love her every day. Um, just like little things that center you in family. Um, like making sure that a lot of dads just don't have time to go walk 4 to 5 miles a day to get their 10,000 steps. And that's super true, but there's a lot of ways that you can incorporate living a healthy lifestyle into your family where it's like you just play outside. So no, you might not be going to get your 10,000 steps specifically, but if you can incorporate a healthy lifestyle into your family, it makes everything a lot easier. Um, Additionally, like the ability to um, like eat a specific way, in that you're not a strength athlete anymore. You don't need to eat all of the food that's in your house to like, you're not going to lose muscle. You're not going to like, you're allowed to be an adult and make different decisions because you're a dad now and you have different demands and your priorities are different. And that was a big transition for me because I still was just living my life as a strength athlete, and it got me all the way to 205 pounds. So in the new year, we're calling it the Diesel Dad Challenge. The Diesel Dad is just like my superhero that I created for myself, so that, I was like a hockey player, and then I was like a CrossFitter, and then I lifted weights for a while just to like get girls. And well, I thought I was getting girls. I wasn't really. That was what I told myself. Um, like all of those things they're kind of like the superhero that you're chasing. And when you are working out just for health and longevity and strength, there isn't like a sport that you're like playing. You're not a power lifter dad. You're not like an Olympic lifter dad. It all changes, and you have to have a different purpose and a different goal. And that's why I just created my little superhero character of the Diesel Dad. So I I do everything that all the normal dads do, that all of the regular people do. I'm changing diapers, I'm potty training, I'm reading books, I sing and dance and do all the dad things. I just also happen to front squat 300 pounds. I just also happen to have my name on John Cena's garage door. I just happen to be able to deadlift more than everybody in my neighborhood. I don't really know that, but I assume so.
It's a good percentage that
Yeah.
you're able to. Yeah.
And those are the things where it's like, I just prioritize strength, and strength is a culture in my family. And the Diesel Dad is just who I aspire to be. I want to be a great dad. I just also want to be the most jack dude at the pool, at the HOA, which is a very low level goal. But so that's kind of like what we'll be launching, the Diesel Dad Challenge, which incorporates, it's not just, a nutrition challenge. It's really about kind of the mindset of being a dad and being grateful for your family. Um, you know, how do you incorporate these like big tenets of fitness and doing some meditation, mindfulness practice? You probably get home from work and you don't have 20 minutes to sit in your room and meditate and light candles and do all this shit. Like, people are busy. It's like a no BS, like, we're busy. We've got different things going on. However, it still needs to happen. So how do you integrate all of those things into your daily life without, like the tagline really is for busy dads that want to get strong, lean, and athletic without sacrificing family, fatherhood, and fitness. And I think that pretty much wraps it up of like how we can meet people where they're at with busy lifestyles that want to be great fathers. They want to be there for their family. They want to do all this stuff, yet they probably don't have the structure because it's such a new experience to be able to do it. So I'm in the middle of writing the Diesel Dad Challenge right now, 30 days to get strong, lean, and athletic for busy dads that don't want to sacrifice family, fatherhood, and fitness.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
should be fun.
Yeah. And I guess we can end it on that one.
There it is. Go to Walmart.
Go to
Join the
Walmart.
Diesel Dad Challenge.
Where else can people find you guys besides the shelves of Walmart?
I'm Anders Varner at Anders Varner, Barbell Shrugged at Barbell_Shrugged, and go to Walmart. We're going to be on Walmart.com too. I just don't know the exact date because there's a bunch of things that we got to figure out. But if you're in San Diego, LA, Vegas, Palm Springs, find a store. Get in there right now. 3, 2, 1,
Awesome.
go.
Well, thank you.
Awesome, man. I appreciate hanging out.
Yeah, of course. Anytime.